Welcome to release question 215 for CAHSEE Math. Second to last question in the release questions here. Almost there. 215 says that Diane delivers newspapers for $5 a day plus 4 cents per newspaper delivered. Jeremy delivers newspapers for $2 a day plus 10 cents per newspaper delivered. How many newspapers would Diane and Jeremy each need to deliver in order to earn the same amount? And so let's come up with some variables. The things that can vary here is the number of newspapers delivered and the amount that they actually make. And so we're saying this is in the same day. We're not changing, we're not saying in multiple days. We're saying in the same day, how many newspapers do they have to deliver to make the same amount? So let's let n, I think, is a good number for newspapers, or a good variable for that. N will be the number of newspapers delivered. And let's call A. I'm going to put a little curl on my A so it doesn't look quite so much like a 9 with its tail cut off. So A is going to be the amount earned. Let's call it that. So A for amount. And then we'll have two equations. One will be Diane's equation, how much will she earn, and the other equation will be for Jeremy. So Diane's amount earned is going to equal, what's that? I still don't like that A. That's not a good A. Let's try that again. How is that? It's a little better. Okay. So the amount that Diane earns, the amount Jeremy earns, will be for Diane, it's $5 a day. So she starts off with $5 before she even delivers a single paper, plus 4 cents for every newspaper she delivers. So plus 0.4 times the number of newspapers. For Jeremy, he starts off with $2, but he gets 10 cents for every newspaper that he delivers. And so when are their amounts going to be the same? What we need to do here is just, since A and A are both the same things here, we can just take this and plug it in for A right there. So we're saying when are their amounts the same in order to earn the same amount. Let's underline that part here. So if A was the same, this would be the case. So we're going to substitute, use a substitution method one more time here. Substitution method. That'll go with this. And so I'm going to say then that, so I'm kind of thinking of this, I'm going to take this. This is kind of merging together right there. This would become then, you'd have 2 plus 0.10n would equal 5 plus 0.04n. So I'm going to try to get n by itself. I like to keep things positive, and so I noticed if I subtracted 0.04n, that would keep the n part positive. This would go away here and here, that would cancel. I'd be left with 0.06n, and I'm going to take care of the regular numbers at the same time, or in the same step here. So minus 2, this will go away here and here. I'd be left with that equaling 3. And then let's get out a different color, and if we multiply both sides by, since we can't use a calculator, to divide by 0.6, that's not really an easy task to do, but if we first would multiply by 100, that's going to move the decimal place 1, 2 spots. That'll make that a whole lot easier. So multiply both sides by 100. That'll leave us with 6n equals 300. And run kind of short on room here, but divide by 6. 30 divided by 6 would be 5, so 300 divided by 6 would be 50. So therefore, the answer, the amount of newspapers they would both need to sell to make the same amount, should be 50. Choice B would be your answer. Let's just plug that in mentally and check our answers. You can always write more than what I have here, but you can always write down your check as well. I'd have 50 times 4 cents would end up being, that would be $2. $2 plus $5 would be $7, and this should also equal $7 if this is going to be the right answer. 50 times 10 cents would be $5. $5 plus $2, that makes me happy. 7 as well. So that definitely is the right answer then. Choice B for 215.